there was a moment you're there, you're chief marketing officer at Harley. Harley is a highly recognized brand all over the world. You have resources, you have creative teams, you can choose the direction you want to go, amazing products, amazing history, the whole narrative, the story, and you're empty. It just isn't from one moment to the next. It's kind of like, was it a slow creep or was it just you woke up one day?
It was, well, the waking up is a very opportune phrase that you just used. So for me, it came in the form of a nightmare. And when I'm on stage and I'm talking to audiences of leaders, I'm like, we all get the wake up call, but please don't wait until the wake up call or some form of crisis comes for you. Like we hear the little whispers or we're doing the thing and we go, why does doing the thing I love not feel as good? Or why am I
Yeah.
doing the thing I love and I don't feel as good? Start asking the questions. So for me, it looked like a nightmare. And I mean that quite literally. I got a wake up call that I now say was like the universe and my soul conspiring, like grabbing me by the lapels and waking me up to my truth that I was living out of alignment, that I was living someone else's success script. And in my case, it was my dad. And
Mm.
it served me very, very well for decades. So I'd say I have no regrets. And my story is not about quitting your job, even though that's the way it looked for me. But I got woken up every night for the entire final year that I was at Harley as CMO. I was ripped out of my sleep by this nightmare, and it was forcing me to see something I didn't understand at the time. And it was basically, well, I can share the nightmare. Do we have a minute for me to share the nightmare with
Share
you?
away.
Yeah. So it tends to resonate. I tell a short version of this on stage quite frequently. The idea is I'm seeing the same thing night after night. And I'm being pulled through like a very sort of dark labyrinth of hallways. And I get into this dark, lifeless, windowless, soulless room. And the only thing I can see is like this flickering outline of what looks like a small utility closet on the other side of the room. And so it's like I'm fighting it, but a force is pulling me toward this utility closet. And I have no choice but to keep moving forward. And as I get closer to it, I hear this whimpering. And so, of course, I'm like, what is going on? And I rip open the door and I look down and I see Mocha, my precious blind pug, who
Mm.
had died before I went to Harley. And here
Mm.
I am at Harley 6 years later, and I'm seeing my dog alive, but malnourished and neglected and longing for attention in the bottom of this little utility closet that I didn't even know existed. And I try to like rescue him. Like I pick him up and I cradle him. I'm starting to tell him I love him and I wake up every
Wow.
single time, 2 a.m. and I can't get back to sleep. And so what do? I'm a high achiever. It's like I just sort of like brush myself off and I put on all my shiny clothes and my armor and I go back to work and I don't tell anybody what I'm experiencing until I couldn't function anymore. And I finally went to a therapist and I started unpacking
Yeah.
what I was seeing. And it's so clear now when I see the smile on your face, like that acknowledgement of like, yeah, Mocha was a proxy for my soul. And I was seeing my soul dying in this closet, longing for attention,
And it
feeling
wasn't just a
disconnected.
closet, Shelley. It wasn't just a closet. It was a utility closet.
Hmm.
So your
Hmm.
usefulness and your ability to be utilized was closed off in a closet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and all my truth, right? Because when I talk about success full versus success empty, I'm really talking about what does success look like for you in a way where you feel more alive and more aligned and more energized. Because that's available to all of us, but it's not available if we're not in our truth. And so you're right. I'm opening this utility closet and
Yeah, I
finding
mean,
my truth.
no, thank you for sharing that because this is where I want to address our audience. You know, our audience comes from all walks of life, small business owners, people from the corporate world, trade associations, creative types, meeting professionals, event marketers. And they can really, from the comments that we've had in previous episodes and our newsletter and just our day-to-day interactions with our clients and our speakers, burnout is something that people really relate to. It's different for everybody, right? If
Yeah.
something that I don't like or something that's not working for me at work, whether it's my own business or I'm in a corporation, may or may not be burnout. It might just be like you have to make the donuts or it's something boring, but it's got to be done. So either tough love, get over it, or find a way to recontextualize it. And that's where I think the work that you've done and the book you've written, you have a part of it where you redefine success. But then there's the empowerment part where you know you have a skill set. And if it's not being fully self-expressed or you have an expression that has a lid on it, how can you position yourself as a professional, as a business owner, as a marketer, and as an event planner to put yourself in a position to be successful? And you get to say what that success looks like.